Okie doke, there we go. So hi folks who are watching this as a YouTube video on YouTube after it's been live streamed, but for the moment it's being live streamed. Today we're just going to do a small casual VFR flight, well it might be IFR depending on the weather, from Tahiti to Bora Bora. So we're in French Polynesia in the Pacific. I felt like doing something a bit warmer today than flying in Europe. It's kind of cold in Europe right now. And there's some scenery just here that really interested me that I thought I'd try out. So here we are. It's got some very nice looking photorealistic textures going on. Let's see, someone messaged me. No, they didn't. Okay. So we're in the A2A Beechcraft Bonanza V-tail today. So let's turn on my track IR. Let's just make sure it's where it should be. Yep. There we go. Okay. There we go. Remove before flight. I can hear some distant thunder, so we should hopefully get to see some of those rain effects. So that would be cool. Let's just go and have a look at an external walk around. Okay, controls, wheels lock, remove, battery on. Let's just fuel quantity gauges checked, both are good. Yep, fuel selectors are on. I think the left tank is the best one to start with. Flaps extend. Battery off. And ignition is off already. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let's just step outside the aircraft and whoa, loading. Excuse me. Right. Check that that's there. Static ports. Let's just linkages all look good. Give that tail a wiggle. It's okay. Yep, static port is also clear on that side. Flap. It's got a little bit of wiggle, a little bit more wiggle than maybe needed, but all the linkages look good. Yep, they look good. Wing tanks, we're not really flying with wing tanks. There's a little bit of fuel going on there, but we will adjust that before takeoff. I don't think I'll fly with the wing tanks actually today, so I will take them off. Let's take the, yeah, it's cold because we haven't turned that on. Let's just remove chocks, remove those, that's all good. Yeah, fuel is good. Sump the fuel tank. I have a feeling, hello Vince, I'm doing well, thank you. I'm my cold is a bit better now. Not 100% there, but it's okay. I think I have contaminated fuel in my car recently, and my cylinders were not firing properly. Of course, it's not as big a deal in your car as it might be in an aircraft. Fuel is good. Yeah, check that those two things are taken off. Check for proper inflation. There's nothing in that one. Okay. Linkages look good. Give that one a wiggle. Same amount of wiggle that there is on the left flap, so that's at least that's symmetrical. And then back into the cabin. Okay. So for the F4 view, no, it's not F4, it's F7. Yes, thank you. I'm going to remove the tip tanks. Yeah, I'm going to remove the curtains as well. We should not have any issues. Should not have any issues because we check instruments. Yeah, there's no amber warnings. They're all good. We're okay. The Yeah. Oh, I remember that. I have to press the inspect button first. That could catch you out. Okay. Like new, 16.6 hours. And that's all good. Yep, no problems. Excellent. Let's open the cowl flaps. And before we jump in, we're going to go with some passengers over to Bora Bora. We're going to go with full passengers, and the fuel looks fine. We just don't have any tip tanks. That's fine. Okay, let's close up the... And the nice thing about flying in an area like this is my frames per second is really nice and smooth. So yeah. By the way, folks, whenever I'm doing a live stream, if you want to go over to my Twitch, no, sorry, not Twitch, my Discord channel, I have a general chat. I have a general tab here. You can talk with me. You can instant message me here. You can ask me whenever I'm next streaming, or if you'd like to go on an IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad, Great Battles series flight with me on multiplayer. You can find me here. You can use these audio channels to chat with me, etc., etc. when I'm doing my flights, or we're doing group flights or something like that. So just thought I'd pop that out there. So if you want to pop in there, Vince, and keep me company, feel free. Okay, so startup. I believe that's shift 8. No, that's not shift 8. Sorry, it's shift 2. Lots of shifts. Cabin is warm and steady, and that is because today, ladies and gents, we are flying with 31 degrees Celsius. Let's open that window. 31 degrees Celsius. You did hear it right. That sounds lovely, except that I am not there in real life. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, so let's put headphones. Okay, lean on ground to avoid fouling plugs. Check oil temperature before run-up. That's an important thing. Okay, so the oil temp before run-up is cold. Dead cold. Okay. Idle under 1,000 RPM with cold engine. That's why you need to know. Okay, so we're going to have to idle under 1,000 RPM. Takeoff rotation is 77 knots, best angle of climb, blah, blah, blah. Turbulent penetration, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Upon entering the cabin, pre-flight has been completed. Passengers have been briefed. Seatbelts, shoulder harnesses are on. Flaps. Let's bring the flaps up. I'm in the P3D channel. Okay. Hello, Vince. Hello, 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 hello. Testing, 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 testing. There we go. Excellent. Okay. How you doing, Vince?
I'm fine.
Good. I'm just running through my pre-flight. Radios are off. Yes, that's correct. Circuit breakers are in. Circuit breakers are the sort of thing on P3D aircraft. A2A aircraft. They don't really ever give you issues. That doesn't graphically change whenever I turn that on and off. I think the circuit breakers should actually graphically pop out in the aircraft. So when you look down the row of them, you should be able to see that one's popped out. Mm-hmm. I've never seen one that there's never been one that's popped out on me before. You can. Oh, hang on. If I mouse over that. On. Yeah, I can't pop that out. I don't know if you are able to pop them out and pop them back in, but anyway, I've checked them. All electric switches off. Okay, well then let's turn the battery off. Rotating, oh, okay, fine. Rotating beacon. Let's pop that on, and I love the fact, it never gets tired on me, the fact that in the Bonanza you can actually hear the beacon rotating from inside the cockpit. I think that's really cool. Fuel selector is desired tank. That was. Gear switch is down. Okay. Engine start. Mixture. Rich. Prop. Full throttle. Full bat and alt switches on. Check gear lights. All are 3 greens. Auxiliary pump on until fuel flow goes into the green. So, which one is that? Where's my fuel pump? I saw it just a minute ago. Where is my fuel pump? Can't find my fuel pump.
To the right.
Ah, there it is. Yep, I gotcha. The fuel flow goes into the green. Whoa, maybe a little bit too much there. But we'll find out if the engine splutters on startup. Okay, throttle cracked 1/4 inch, like so. And then shout clear prop, clear prop. No one's around me. Mag start, switch to start, and watch the oil and the volts and the mixture lean. Just make sure that parking brake is on first. There we go. Oil pressure is rising, coming up into the green. Amps is okay. Yep, oil pressure's good. It's in the green. Should steady itself in the green. Amps are holding. Oil temperature's gradually rising. And with that, let's now go to lean our mixture. And we should idle under 1,000. And lean. Okay. And then avionics on. And then cowl flaps open, which we already did. Okay, sweet. That is probably the smoothest startup of the Bonanza I've ever done. So things are going well so far. I'm just going to turn the volume down a little bit so I can hear myself speak a little bit more. Okay, so now we've done that, let's just go to our flight plan. Oh, and there's those annoying click sounds, but never mind. Let's actually put the weather. The weather.
TAS system test okay.
Shh.
System test okay.
Shh. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, flight plan is very simple today. We're just flying from HHN or NTAA to HHN. There was a Garmin GTN 750 update the other day, which was pretty sweet. You may be able to tell that on stream. NTTB. NTTB. Okay, that is the flight plan. Nice and simple. Okay, so taxi radios are on. Let's just go double check that our radios are indeed on. Radios are on. Let's go to 122.8. Even though we are offline, we can put Unicom on anyway. Transponder should be on alt. So it's currently on standby. Let's go alt on out. Enter. Heading indicator should be set. Let's just. So we're going to take off runway 04. Says set 040. Let's do the same with that, despite the fact that we're going to be flying via VFR for as much of this as possible. Heading indicator set, landing gear indicator is green. Yeah, I checked that already, guys, dude. Radio, let's check ATIS, parking brake release, and then roll. So I don't really need ATIS because I'm flying offline. I'm just chilling this evening. I'm just going to check out the scenery. Let's just make sure that chat is working. How are all of you doing the Boston Ranger 1? I'm doing well, actually. Thank you, Boston. I've been feeling pretty rough the last couple of weeks, which is why I've just kind of been a bit more lazy with my streaming. I've just been really kind of not 100%. So I have been taking a break from streaming P3D. Definitely, I find it a lot easier to stream IL-2 Great Battles. So I've been clocking up a few hours of live stream with that. That's been a lot of fun with friends online. So yeah, apart from that, I've not really been doing any P3D. So, and this is, but I saw this the other day and I really thought it's worth picking up. So I thought I'd pick this up, and here I am. It's not like Fly Tampa scenery, but at least it's good-looking stuff. And I know actually a few international carriers make international flights out to this airport at Tahiti, so I can definitely use this scenery for long haul as well as just VFR running around the Solomon Islands and kind of exploring them. Because I was actually watching some YouTube videos on the Solomon Islands and French Polynesia the other day, and I really kind of thought it looks absolutely stunning. So I thought I would jump in the sim and see what all the fuss is about. So let's just pop the strobe on as we're coming onto the coming across the runway hold line. I could actually go on VATSIM, but there's nothing on VATSIM for miles around here. So let's just go zoom out. Yeah, I mean there's just nothing. Except for him. Lol. Okay, maybe not. Right, let's just have a look down the runway. Yeah, this is a backtrack runway. I did wonder if I was doing the right thing, but yeah, it is a backtrack runway. I could probably take off straight there, but I'm just gonna get a feel for the scenery. So, hello, Jonas. Good to see you on stream, sir. How are you doing this afternoon or this evening? I'm doing well myself. So now we're on the active. Let's go mixture rich. Prop pitch is set to max. Does sound like it's choking a little bit there with mixture set to full rich. I think it's the temperature, probably the humidity as well. It's just let me pull it back to 75% again. Yeah, it just sounds like, it sounds a little bit like it runs a little bit cleaner. Let me just okay. The lights is required. Okay, run up. We'll do the run up just, and I like the fact that on the I like the fact that because it's a long runway meant for international aircraft, the what? That doesn't look like that makes sense. Why does the taxi line just like veer off the runway like that? Surely that should be like a turnaround. But yeah, I mean that obviously is an area to turn around. But okay, let's get this baby in the air and see what's what. Okay, let's mixture rich. Just spin around, and I'm loving the frames per second. I don't normally get frames per second like this anywhere else in the world, so I am enjoying this. Okay, let's just parky brake for a second. Brakes hold. Fuel quantity, check that again. We are even on both sides. Mixture is set. Throttle 1700 RPM. 15, 16, 17 is set. Engine instruments check. Oil temp, amps are still good, oil pressure is still good, oil temp is good, and cylinder temperature is just okay. Mags check. Okay, let's watch the drop in RPM with the different mags. Let's go left first. Yep, about 100 RPM drop. Ooh, the right mag isn't doing as well as the left mag. A little bit more glitchy. Back to both. Good to know. and then cycle the prop 1 to 3 times.
Yeah, actually the taxi line that went off the runway is actually there.
Ah, wow. Okay.
I posted it in the Discord.
Excuse me. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to turn up the volume so people can hear the prop cycling.
Oh yeah, that's really good in the A2A stuff.
My wheels look like they're dug into the pavement a little bit, but we'll forgive them. Not every scenery developer is created equal. Whoa, hello. That was my Cytec throttle quadrant glitching. Because I have an old Cytec throttle quadrant that just glitches around. Okay, we are done. Okay, controls, free and correct. Fuel selector is on desired tank. Fuel pump, let's just make sure that is off. That is indeed. Engine gauges check. We did check them, but we just glance over them again. Fuel's good. RPM is good. Manifold pressure is good. Fuel flow. Excuse me. All good. All good. Prop full in. Engine gauges check. Trim tab neutral. Flaps set. Cowl flaps open. Doors and windows secure. Slowly advanced throttle. Manifold. Fuel flow and RPM check. Okay. Brakes off. Wind is on the right hand side. And I'm just going to let the nose lift up by itself. And we should see the dash cam. We should. Oh, actually. Whoa. Tap the brakes. Gear up. Climbing out above 100 knots. There we go. Okay, throttling back to 75% throttle. Mixture and prop also back to 75%. My goodness, that's beautiful. Wow. I'm just going to take... oh, there's a... Oh, sweet. There's like... I thought it was an oil rig. Okay, I'm going to take a one more pass around the airport just before I run away to my destination here, just so you guys can see what the airport's like. Looks very nice. That was weird, lol. What was weird? Hello, Eric. Ah, good to see you, sir. I'm in French Polynesia, as you can see. As I'm sure you immediately could guess. I'm just... What is that up there? Is that like a quarry or something? Or maybe it's just... Maybe it's a slum. I bet you it's a slum. That's right. Oh, hello, Trim. That's not bad for a scenery package. But the thing is the scenery package is not just this airport and this island. It's like a ton of islands. It's basically the Solomon Islands. Or no, not the Solomon Islands. The Society Islands, they're called. Got some got a yacht anchorage down there. That's pretty sweet. Okie doke. So that's a pretty sweet island. I'm really looking forward to exploring that island. I mean, check that terrain out. But let's head over to this island to my right hand side on our way, because it's on our way. If you have a look at the GTN 750, you can see it's kind of in our path here. So let's head over this way. Ah, the French version of Polynesia. Yes, indeed. Yes. And I saw your video, Eric, of the baby dash, the Videre baby dash in Norway, and I saw the snø. Very nice snø. We might have some snø this week in Inverness. So we'll see.
Yeah, it snowed over here in the Netherlands today.
Ah, very good. Eric, if you want to, you can come join me in Discord and have a chat. But if you're not got a microphone or anything, that's fine. You don't have to do that. But just in case you have a microphone handy. But yeah, so Vince, it was snowing in the Netherlands, was it?
Yeah.
Nice.
And people here in the Netherlands can't handle snow. Like, the trains were a complete mess. We had 2,000 kilometers of traffic jam.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to throttle a little bit. Actually, 2400 RPM is fine. That's fine. Totally fine. Nothing wrong with this. My goodness, look at that there. Look at that. Oh, that huge valley. I'm going to fly through that valley.
Oh yeah, no pass.
Oh, actually there's a little airport over there as well.
Okay, touch
And
and go.
that looks I could do a touch and go. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do touch and go, coming the opposite direction, then take a right-hand turn, and then go, and then like, club baby seals as I go through that valley. That's what I'm going to do.
Just fly left down.
Yeah, I'm going to do left downwind. Yep. I don't have a microphone or headset with one. Ah, no worries, man. No worries. By the way, Eric, actually, I have just been scheduling. I'm overspeeding here. I've just actually been scheduling a business trip I'm supposed to do for my company to Indianapolis and Louisville in April. And I'm also going to a conference for a day in London in March, I think. So my spring is filling up, but I will definitely have to sort something out in the Scandinavian front. Okay, so let's just throttle back here.
Yeah, you should be 23 inches of manifold pressure and about 2300 RPMs.
Yeah. Well, my manifold is like 15 inches manifold. Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't know the temperature.
My throat is very tickly. I've kind of gotten over my cold, but my voice box and my throat still is a bit tickly. So apologies for that. Oh, that's nice. Like photo scenery. That's really nice photo scenery. That's beautiful. I'm so glad I got this. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's just beautiful. Okay, so let's put me in 20 notches, 20 inches. Sorry, not 20 inches. 20 degrees of flaps. Okay, prop is going full, mixture's going full, gear is going down, landing lights going on. Oh, overshot the center line, but
500.
I really have to turn that P3. Oh, that's gonna start screaming at me. I haven't configured the GTN 750 or 650 for that matter, so it might start screaming at me again. Oh, and it's going to be screaming terrain warnings at me as well as I go through these mountains. Okay, slow down, Mantok. Slow down. Got 13 knot crosswind. You can do this without making a fool of yourself. Oh, oh, descent rate, descent rate, descent rate. Water. Oh! Well, that wasn't half bad. Okay. Center line. Throttle up. Hello, goodbye, whatever airport you were. That's what happens when we don't like certain airports. We're just like, whoosh, bye. Okay, flaps up. Maintain 100 knots. And you can feel that side-to-side motion the nose is doing because of the VTEL config. Okay, 75% on the throttle, 75% on the pitch, and just have a nice leisurely climb out. Not too crazy. Okay. Hello. Ooh, travel man. About time you came to Norway too then. Yeah, true. Hello, Zolt. Hello, good to have you on the channel. Okay, that valley is the valley I'm going to go through. That one right there. This is going to be fun. I should do this as a group flight. I think that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
maybe later this week I should schedule a group flight, and we should get people back here.
Oh yeah, we could find a join FS. It's probably the best for this.
That auto gen is pretty sweet.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead.
Shh! Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have this constantly, aren't I?
Terrain ahead. Terrain.
Because I have it twice, because it's set for both the... Okay, so prop is full and...
Terrain ahead.
Terrain
ahead.
For goodness sake. Bear with me, guys. I am sorry. I didn't realize it was...
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Bear with me, guys. That is sweet, though. Oh, look at the houses!
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Oh, that is the sweetest looking little bay that your heart has ever desired.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
You shut up. Terrain is not ahead.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead.
I'm getting like Indiana Jones vibes. I need to be like flying around this scenery in a DC-3. A2A, why has A2A not given us a DC-3 yet? This is a legitimate question.
Because they gave us the Bonanza.
But I want a DC-3. A2A would be amazing at a DC-3. Can you imagine a DC-3 from A2A? And before everyone shouts that there's really good freeware for it, yes, I'm sure there is, but the freeware DC-3 does not have proper radial engines like a proper DC-3 would have. My goodness, this scenery though. Those are quite dark shadows. I wonder if those shadows are baked into the the photorealistic textures.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like.
It looks too black to not be baked into. Yeah. Well, I'd have to see them on a different lighting, but. Oh, I'm gonna have to come back here in a float plane.
Yeah, and the beaver.
Yes, okay. Next time I'm here, I'm going to be in the beaver, guys. I love all these little villages with tiny little roads that all go down to, like, through the valleys that go down to the sea. Oh, it is really nice. That's what you get with photogen that you don't get with like Orbex, unless you've got like a good modern Orbex region. We'll sometimes have like a photogen, but all these little tracks, all these little trails, and beautiful. And then of course the coral reefs and stuff underneath the water that you don't get any other way other than having. And you can see that all the little yachts are moored in that little inlet where there's a little deeper stretch closer into the shore. It's really well done. Yeah. Ah, beautiful. I'm really glad I decided to. Okay, so that's our kind of sightseeing of the island over. We're going to be doing some cross country. For 80 nautical miles to our next waypoint. So watch out, Peter is going manual. Oh man, I tell you, I don't go manual enough these days, Eric. Look at that scenery though. That's worth a screenshot. It's just what part of it to screenshot. It's all beautiful. Something like that. There we go. So I'm definitely, when the B377 Strata Cruiser comes out for P3D version 4, I'm definitely bringing it to Tahiti. Because I'm pretty sure there were like Pan Am legs from Hawaii down to Tahiti as well. Oh, I really wish that A2A would do us a DC3. That would just complete my life. I know that sounds really sad, but it's true. So. Oh.
Just give Peter a 377 and the DC3 for P4 new.
I know, I would be happy, and I would be happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd fly the backside off the DC3 if the A2A gave us a DC3, man. I tell you, I'd be doing so many legs in that thing. Because if you think about it, in the vintage airliner lineup, we've got the B377, we've got the Connie, which are two huge, iconic 50s, like, kind of late war 50s vintage airliners.
Yeah.
And we've got the DC6 from PMDG, which is a beast. But I think there's the niche that no one has really ever filled. No one's really given us a solid payware DC3, have they? We've only ever gotten a freeware DC3, which is great, which is fine, but it's not A2A. And I feel like probably I don't know why, to be fair. Why is it that no one has ever, no serious aircraft developer in the community, why is it that none of them have ever done a DC3? I mean, DC3s are like so popular. Like, how, you know? Everyone knows a DC3. Even if you don't know planes, you've watched Indiana Jones, surely.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, I'm going to get onto GPS, these clouds. I don't like these clouds. So I'm going to get onto GPS. See if I can remember how to do this. So I put it's nav, like so. And then I go autopilot on. Yeah, there you go. And then that's on the nav now, and nav of course is set to GPS. Yeah. It's set to the GPS. So we're flying towards that magenta line there, and once we hit that magenta line, we should turn left and follow that course. And also, I want to Yes, I'm going to set. I'm going to set, say, 8,000, and arm that. So 8,000 feet. You can see we're coming into a slight left-hand bank now to capture. Yeah, you see we're capturing the track. So and just like that, the island that we passed is going into the clouds. So just pause my track IR. Okay, so we're climbing up to 8,000. Everything should be good. Climbing up through past 4,000. I'm needing to go use the bathroom, so I'm going to leave the live stream in Vince's capable hands. Oh man. No, you'll be fine. Eric Lund will steer you right. If anyone has any aviation questions, ask Eric Lund, because he is an official pilot dude who flies around in real life doing crazy stuff. Gets paid for doing that. So if you have any questions, he will try and answer them for you. But don't believe anything he says, because he is basically a liar and doesn't know as much about aviation as I do. Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I know, I said so much strong passion and desire for A2A DC3. Man, who wouldn't? Like, who wouldn't want an A2A DC3? They're not going to give us a Lancaster, so we might as well... We might... Oh, I'm not supposed to go down, I'm supposed to go up. We might as well, you know, annoy them until they give us a DC3. $2,000 to go. Peter is indeed my mentor when it comes to aviation. You know it, man. You know it. Yes. And of course I had to go and get some tea, as I'm sure you all saw. Okay, let's see what our track looks like. Okay, so we took off, we did a little bit of a roundabout, and then we did the touch and go, flew through the mountains of Pago. No, that's Pau, Moria. I'm just nailing these Tahiti. And then look how accurately the Bonanza holds onto that GPS line. That's really good on the part of the autopilot there. It's a good aircraft, a really good aircraft. And then I'm going to descend down to... I want to descend down to almost the deck just as we fly around. I might actually just fly around this island, and I might fly around these islands as well on our way to our destination. And then I might just continue going on. I might land here instead, actually. Nice day and all that, you know. Okay, so the VOR we're going into is 112.7. So let's 112.7 and put that into nav, and we should get ourselves a nav 1 readout. There we go, 52.3 nautical miles, and that... Oh my goodness, that's some heavy turbulence. Some very heavy turbulence. But it's fine because we are 16 degrees Celsius at 7,000 feet. I mean, it's so hot out here. I mean, and those are really nice rain effects. And it's only until you have like high FPS, high and stable FPS, that you can fully appreciate them. Those effects, they are nice. Let's open the window, get wet. Ah! No. Yeah, and because it's the Bonanza, it's just rocking all over the place. Poor thing. And I'd probably close up the... well, cylinder head temperatures are okay. We could like close it to half and see what that does. Hello, Marvin. Excuse me. Let's just see. I'm going through some clouds. Now we're up, we can turn off the landing lights and the taxi light. I should have turned those off earlier on, but never mind. Prop heat and prop de-ice we don't need, of course. We're well above that sort of temperature. And there we go. Just greased to 777 at 35 feet per minute. Wow, that's an accomplishment in a 777. That's got to be fun. That's a memorable descent rate. It's definitely memorable. I think I remember doing like negative 8 feet per minute in the dash once, but that was like, I've only ever done that once.
How do you do that in the dash?
I know, of all aircraft, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Where was that, Marvin? Excuse me. We are completely IMC. This is interesting. Oh, come on. Let's not have that FPS issue again.
Oh no.
Oh no. This happens every time. 9 frames a second. Let's not do this.
It might just be the...
I think it's something to do with like not fully. There we go. It's come back now. I think it's something to do with it's not correctly loading the textures properly. So every time you change the view, whenever you change the view, it just goes into this bottleneck because it hasn't loaded the textures correctly somehow. And I think the way to stop it from happening is just force the textures to reload by going in and out and in and out into internal, external views. You know, cycle through all of the different views just to get things going again. And I think that's how I've managed to stop that. But you saw that very clearly in top left-hand corner. The it went bang right down to 9 frames a second, and nothing to do with my performance. It's just some weird P3D version 4.4 bottleneck. So my Project Fly glitched out once and gave me plus 12 landing rate. Nice. It was in the dash as well. Well, you see, if you're doing a plus 12 feet per minute landing rate in the dash, that makes sense because it's the Dash 8.
Positive landing rate of like 120 in the dash. I'm like,
That's when you're landing uphill in Norway somewhere. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like with the first test flight of the A320, they went to Amsterdam. And
Yeah.
the old systems in the like that have to do with altitude, so the radio altimeter and stuff like that, went completely crazy because Amsterdam is below sea level. And
Oh.
they hadn't programmed that in. So they were below that level, and they were executing the normal ILS stuff, and everything went crazy.
Lol.
Like, how can you build an entire aircraft and not realize, like, oh,
There are actually airports.
It's sea level.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you why and how. It's because it's someone else in the company's, like, when you like, Airbus is so like spread out across like different European companies that, like, oh, that's someone else's job, you know, that's someone else. Like Boeing is just like Seattle based. It's like they just sit in an office and they do their job. And it was only in the it was with the 787 they outsourced and it cost them so much. But well, I suppose any aircraft manufacturer is a huge undertaking. But yeah.
Yeah.
There we are, 8,000 feet, cruising nicely.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, that's a nice shot.
What?
I'm just going through the cinematic camera.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah, I was just looking
I keep building up courage to actually go transatlantic in a Connie or a 377. Yeah, I mean, it does take a little bit more hands-on. You can't just put the autopilot on and then just go off and have a coffee and leave it for hours and hours and then come back when you're at the top of descent. You have to actually be sitting there for most of the flight. You can't leave it for more than half an hour to 45 minutes because you know, the Connie particularly, because the Connie doesn't even have an altitude hold. It's ridiculous. You just have to try and hold your altitude through fine pitch adjustment and throttle adjustment. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, though I feel more comfortable just leaving the Constellation than like my 737 or so. It's really strange. Because I know what the Connie will do and what it won't do.
Yeah. We're getting into some turbulence again. It's an interesting question from Sam. So, Peter, how would you describe the weather in the UK in one word? Emotional.
Emotion.
It's always crying. The weather is always crying in the UK. That's a fine cup of tea, though I do say so myself. And those windscreen effects are also fine, A2A Simulations. Oh my goodness, can you imagine being in the Bonanza, having it yaw this much in cruise when you get like a crosswind? Why would anyone buy a Beechcraft Bonanza? Why?
Awesome. It looks awesome.
It's a full 10 to 15 degrees worth of yaw awesome.
At least you feel what the aircraft is doing.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah. Good choice. Yeah, my longest flight in a Connie was about 5 hours. This is the next step up. Yeah, it's satisfying, I tell you, Marvin, when you finally land from across the pond leg in a Connie or a 377 particularly. It's an accomplishment, I think. I recently, from a New Year's live stream, I tried my first experiment at transatlantic stellar navigation, using the stars to navigate across the Atlantic, and that was really fun. Until about half an hour, about 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, real time. I'm sitting there, and the simulator crashes before as I'm on descent into Gander. So that was a bit disheartening, but it was still, I managed to kind of get from one side of the Atlantic to the other using the stepping stones of the Weathership add-on plus stellar navigation. So that kind of gave me a very kind of basic starter initiation to stellar navigation, but there's a lot to be learned there, and there's a lot of practice I should do to be able to do it reliably, you know, hundreds and hundreds of miles away from any land-based navigation. So that's definitely something I'm going to be doing in the B377 once it comes out for V4. I've kind of flown the Connie quite a lot recently. I finished the London to Sydney legs a while ago, and after that I was like, I want to kind of give the Connie a bit of a rest now. Maybe focus on some other A2A aircraft and wait until the 377 comes back out for V4. I could do some B-17 transatlantic flights. Actually, my grandfather did B-17 ferry flights across the Atlantic. After the war ended, he was one of the guys who was ferrying across B-17s back to America to be decommissioned. And he has some interesting... He had some interesting stories about fuel efficiency and the amount of fuel. Apparently, there were times when he would land in Newfoundland and they would be running on just fumes. That's one thing I heard from a few stories a long time ago. He's passed away now, of course, but I'll have to ask my dad to see what stories my dad remembers. But my grandfather was a B-17 lieutenant in the war, and then post-war he moved into the A-26 Marauder, I think it was called. It was like a jet bomber, and then he was a captain of the B-52s. I think it was a B-52 captain. And he did some work in the Manhattan Project in the late war period as well. And then, of course, he retired from service, probably mid 50s or no, I don't know when, but he didn't end his days in the military, but. I did once go through his war diaries of all of his different missions that he did in the B-17 in Europe, and bombing all the different German cities and stuff, and the stories he had of the conditions and stuff were really quite eye-opening. And he wrote them all down in his flight manual or flight journal, and I was reading photocopies of his flight journal. So. They're really, really interesting. So once A2A brings the B-17 out for V4, I know I've not really ever done any B-17 content before on my channel. I've not really touched the A2A Warbirds as much, but I would definitely touch on the B-17 as it's a 4-engined heavy beast. I would definitely do some transatlantic in that. Yeah, motion sickness simulator in the V35. It's ridiculously, but then this is the Pacific in summer, so
yeah, imagine the UK in winter.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, by the way, Eric, on the previous stream for your super chat donation. That's really kind of you. That'll go towards the new graphics card. So yeah, that's a graphics card I'm just gonna save up for over time, and hoping to save up some of my own money as well, so I'm not just doing it 100% on money that people give me. I'm hoping to set aside my own money. I'm going to be doing freelance as well, so and hopefully get saved up for that, and that should see this computer through a bit more, a few more years. And then once I actually go and build a new PC, I can take the GTX 1080 out of this computer and put it into the new PC, so it's one of those cards that I can continue using for the next 4 or 5 years. So right, let's begin descent. Wow, this is bumpy. Imagine being in like a regional prop, like an Imagine being in an ATR in the French Polynesia doing like domestic flights from Haiti to this destination and back like 3 or 4 times a day, having to go through this turbulence all day long. Must be ridiculous. Okay, off with the autopilot. And I'm just going to there. Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. Frames per second. Come on now. Don't give me this. Let's not do this again. Thank you. There we go. Sometimes it only like happens for a few seconds. Sometimes it takes a few minutes. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Look at the gap in the clouds and the sun and the rain. That's beautiful. I'm gonna pull the prop down to 15 and manifold down to 15. So I'm flying 15-15 and trying not to overspeed as well as I descend through this turbulence. I wonder if the ridge lift is properly simulated. I mean, it's active Sky Next for P3D version 4. It should be correctly simulated. But the ridge lift off those peaks must be amazing.
Maybe you could try soaring in the
in the Bonanza. Let's try some ridge soaring in the Bonanza. Oh, I should. I really should. Is this one of Matt Davis's PCs? Yes, this is one of the Chill Blast PCs. I got this PC maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, like back when he first announced them. So it's not like a new PC these days. It's got a GTX 970, which is really starting to show its age at this point. Okay, so we know the wind is coming from directly behind me. So if I get a crosswind situation on a ridge, maybe I can pick up some ridge lift. We'll have to see. We'll see what we can do. Gliding in the Bonanza in the French Polynesia on stream. That's what we're all about. It's about being totally manual. I'll just kill the engine and turn all the electrics off, and I'll just like fly with no gauges, as manual as my heart. As manual as my heart's content, and just glide it across the ridges. Eric, you would like that, wouldn't you? Panicked, shut it down, couldn't start it back up, and as it was feathered, landed on 3 engines. I remember one of my B-17 flight, one of my turbos relief valve got stuck closed, so the turbo was on max power the whole time. Wow. I love A2A for those little, I love AccuSim for those little difficulties that happen. Where is that airfield? It's like back there somewhere. Oh no, is it over there on the beach? I don't know. Okay, I'm coming close to these
Yeah, the Bonanza should have a variometer, so you could actually tell if you're having lift.
It does?
No, it doesn't, but it should have.
Oh, okay.
You soar.
Yeah. We're dead. It's basically what's gonna happen. It's all about fully. I'm so quotable. It's all about being fully manual. Peter Knight, 2009. I'm gonna post that. That's got to be. I'm gonna post that. That is such a quote. Thank you, Eric. There is a ridge just there. Okay, let's like zip. Let's like pull a few G's here.
Terrain
ahead.
Oh, shut up.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Shut up.
Terrain ahead.
Okay.
Terrain ahead.
Well, that's more of a headwind, to be fair.
Terrain
Terrain
ahead.
ahead.
Terrain
Terrain
ahead.
ahead.
Terrain
Terrain
ahead.
ahead.
Terrain ahead.
Pull up.
Terrain
Terrain
ahead.
Pull
Pull
up.
up.
That bank angle.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Shh.
Terrain ahead.
Shut
Pull
up.
up.
Shut up.
Terrain ahead.
Actually-
Pull up.
Nah, I don't think I really sensed much ridge lift going on there. Oh well. Well, I'll have to sort it out. I'll have to test that. Right, let's go buzz this airfield wherever this was. I remember the airfield was down on the beach somewhere. Let's go buzz it.
Terrain ahead.
Oh,
Pull up.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Okay. Do you know what?
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Pull up.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead.
Pull up.
Pull up.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain
Pull
ahead.
up.
Pull up.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead.
Shut up!
Terrain ahead.
Shut up! Shut up! Goodness sake, shut up! Alerts.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead.
No. Audio. No, that's down to 0. Setup. Okay, I'll have to sort it out. I'll have to sort it out when I'm on the ground. That is intensely annoying, though. Yes, this airfield is just over here somewhere. Lol. Okay, let's just let's do a low flyby. I'm not going to. I know. Sorry about that, Marvin. I'm not going to land. I'm just going to do a gear up, low flyby. A flyby. Indeed, a flyby. All right, boys. Oh, here it is. Okay. Ah, got a nice little custom.
500.
Oh, I've got a nice little custom ramp there and custom terminal and all. Look at that. That's cute. Ah, little stands and all. Look at that. Nice little runway. Windsock going crazy. You know, Pacific and all. Let's just let's see how well this thing does at steep climbs. Ooh. Didn't quite like that. Let's do a bit of a rollover at the top. And then down again.
Pull up.
So, yes, thank
Pull
you.
up.
Thank you.
Pull up.
Thank you.
Pull up.
Eric, tell me this. You're like a real life pilot and all. Are terrain warning alerts ever remotely helpful? Like when have you ever been flying in a real world situation with like 100 passengers sitting behind you and the aircraft has alerted you that there is terrain ahead of you and you've gone, oh my goodness, look, there's terrain, I didn't see that, and well, actually you're sitting right seat and the captain's like, my goodness, and he's sitting over here. I'll be the captain. My goodness, I didn't see that either, Eric. That's amazing. And you're like, dude, maybe we should pull up. And he's like, yeah, maybe we should. And you're like, all right, here we go. Go in manual. And you go, woo. You know, and you pull up and you avoid the terrain and everyone lives. You know, and you get written about in the newspaper, you know, because you're a hero and all that. Has that happened to you? I'm sure that has, probably, actually. I have a feeling that's the sort of thing that probably would happen to Eric, actually. Let's go up to 5,000 feet. Let's go on with the autopilot again. And why are you descending? No. No. Ascend. Ascend, not descend. Thank you, sir. There we go. There we go. See, it's not that hard, is it? There we go. Okay. Actually, let's just sit down at 3,000. Yeah. Terrain is not now below. So many people yelling at once. Yeah, it's the people hidden in the back of the airplane shouting at you. Yep. Now they're away from the ground. Let's just go into the 750 and see if we can turn off those warnings from here. Alerts. Arrival airspace alerts? No, not airspace alerts. Audio? No, that's not helpful. Voice commands? What?
What? Voice command?
What? What? I've got to research that. Apparently there's voice commands. Terrain. Hang on a second. What up, boy? Are you not following your nav course? What's going on? We talked about this. Oh, there we go. That's better. The autopilot wasn't on. To be fair, it is incredibly turbulent. Actually, to be fair, let's just
No way.
what?
I just googled it, like the voice commands in the GTN 750.
Yeah.
And I found the Garmin like user manual, and it's
Yeah.
called Intelligence Voice Command.
Right.
The Intelligence Voice Command System brings simple and direct voice commands into the cockpit, providing crews with the ease, ability of page and data recall, radio and audio panel control without a single touch on the GTN screen.
No way.
Yeah, it actually is a thing. The Intelligence Voice Command System recognizes 6 primary voice command actions. Show. Set. Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to say it.
Oh. I don't know if it's an option. Like.
I don't know. Interesting. I will.
Say tune, select, toggle, and turn. If that's in the Flight 1 GTN, that would be so awesome. It would be like.
Well, I mean, the option's there, and there was an update for it recently. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
Utilities.
Like,
Yeah.
Like if you have selected an approach airfield, and you know, and the GTN knows the frequencies, and when you say tower tune destination tower, it will automatically switch
Nice.
to tower frequency and stuff like that.
Nice.
Oh man, that would be
So Eric says here, haha, GPWS warnings can save your life though. If we get a terrain caution, which can happen, then we can ignore it. If we get the warning, terrain, pull up, we must execute a terrain escape maneuver. Interesting. Most airline pilots will seldom get GPWS warnings, but some places in Norway it's basically impossible to avoid sometimes. The sink rate, for example, is a classic one on some approaches in northern Norway. Interesting. Interesting. That sink rate warning then, I mean, what is it actually monitoring to give you that sink rate warning? Is the 737 monitoring your feet per minute descent rate, or is it monitoring your descent rate from like a GPS? I suppose it's not like a GPS. It doesn't do that. I suppose it would be monitoring your rate of descent. Yeah, interesting. So I mean, I suppose then that means that there are certain airports in Norway where you have to descend quite aggressively because of the restrictions around the airfield. So it basically means you'll always get sink rate issues. Wow, that's cool. So if you get terrain pull up warning, you have to pull up, despite the fact that you can clearly see where the ground is and you can see that you're not going to fly into it. You have to pull up. That is, I'm getting thrown all over the place here. It's a tailwind though, so it's not as bad as it could be. Monitoring descent rate and terrain closure. Okay, interesting. I love the reefs offshore. It's really, really beautiful. Yeah, I love the offshore reefs. Because even if you get an Atlantic, sorry, not an Atlantic. Even if you get the the ocean swell, the ocean swell is gonna break on those reefs, and everything inside those reefs is gonna be much smoother water. So, wow, I love the weather at the moment. These clouds, everything. It's really beautiful. Let's go direct north at this point. Yeah, there's a small airfield on the northern side, which we will have a look at, and then I want to fly over here because this island is tiny. I mean, this is ridiculously small. NTTP. Let's just see. NTTP, is that one? Yes, that one there. It is included in the scenery. So that's where we're flying. These little inlets as well. I mean, this would be a paradise for an absolute paradise for people who had a sailing boat and they were sailing around the world, kind of thing. Just stop in on one of these little island areas, and it'd be beautiful. I can give you a list of some of the more challenging approaches when we fly in the 737, if you will, so that at least you can test them out on the NGX. Yeah, that would be really cool. Actually, I'd enjoy that. Would that be the 737-8? I'm guessing, or I'm assuming, for Norwegian. If you know a specific approach and landing that you want me to fly, I will try it out on stream. And you can laugh at me. Let's just zoom in. Okay, the airfield is off to our right hand side. Let's go heading rough due 330, and there it is. Oh. So there is the airfield. And again, same sort of deal as the other ones. It's customized. It looks good. I don't know why it's blue. I think that's because the textures haven't loaded in correctly. I think that's why it's blue. I hope. Why is it blue? Why are you blue? Tell me. What is the secret to your blueness? Yeah, nice little custom terminal. Yeah, little custom buildings and ramp details and everything you'd want in a little domestic airfield that you can fly a dash into. I think the ATR actually is. They fly the ATRs down here more than they do anything else. Yeah. They fly the big international. They fly the international flights, the big long haul aircraft, the 777s and the 787s into Tahiti airport where we took off from, and then all the other smaller islands here I think are served by ATRs. At least I think so. So actually, excuse me. Actually, it's getting on in the evening and I have other things to do, I'm afraid. So I'll actually save this I'll save this mini island for another stream. I'll actually save this little island for the Twin Otter. Not the Twin Otter, the Beaver. I'll save this little island for the Beaver on floats for another stream. Maybe when we do a group flight. And I'll just come into land here. So I'm just coming overhead. Coming overhead an island like this with going through cloud actually is where that terrain warning is going to be really helpful. But you can see on the terrain that we're well above. There's only a few amber spots that wouldn't be yeah, it wouldn't be an issue. So that should be fine. There's only a few amber spots like that little ridge over there that might be cause me concern, but I mean, this scenery package though is like top class. I'm really impressed, and I'd never heard about it before. It was the Flight Scene Tahiti and Society Islands for FSX and P3D. It's on discount, and it's P3D version 4 compatible, and it works beautifully. Really nice stuff. I'm really impressed. I definitely have to fly some Boeing 377 stuff in here. And I mean, there's also, I mean, in terms of modern stuff, I don't really do modern stuff on my YouTube channel, but for my personal flying, I do the 777 and 787 and stuff like that. And they fly from Los Angeles and San Francisco. They fly stuff in there into Tahiti, so I'm definitely gonna have to do that with this scenery. This scenery goes actually really well with the Hawaii scenery. There's a Hawaii freeware scenery which is similar actually in quality to this, but it's freeware, which is fantastic, that I have for Hawaii. So I'm gonna have to do some Hawaii streams as well, go around the islands there. Okay, my voice is starting to, like, I could tell, like, my voice box is starting to go a little bit here, so let's see. Here is a list of approaches you should try. This message is held for review. And then someone called Fake Account has posted something in some unknown language, it looks like. I'm gonna hit show. Yeah, I don't know. Oh no, it's someone who, a genuine Facebook user called Fake Account, has posted something in Cyrillic, of which I am ignorant. So 80 knot crosswind. This is ridiculous. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. Okay, so ENEV RNAV Z runway 28. Okay. Oh my goodness, this weather serves me right for flying around the Pacific. Just gonna take I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. Like so. There's also Orbeck scenery for Echo November Alpha Tango. The RNAV Z28 for into ENEV is not so crazy, but it's steep, and it's actually quite entertaining if you fly it all the way down to minimums, because it requires close-in maneuvering. Interesting. You have piqued my interest. I must do this in, and this is all, again, you're saying this is all in the 737-800. I'm gonna have to go and do this. You should get that then, Peter, and fly the visual in minimum weather in a strong westerly wind. That's when we normally have to do it in real life. That's crazy. I remember you saying, like, yeah, very, very high winds coming off the ridge sometimes in these Norwegian airports where you've got, yeah, pretty crazy situations. That's a steep mountain, though, going down into the sea. That's a steep ridge, and there's some really beautiful looking you know what, just for the stream ending here, I'm going to disable the weather, because it's now at this point it's just more of a hindrance. I want to see this scenery more than be thrown around. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, I love those little beach huts. They're so cool.
Oh yeah.
Those little beach huts look nice. That's my airfield over there. But I'm not gonna land yet. I'm actually gonna. My goodness, look at that. I can't wait to explore all these little places with a Piper Cub on floats. They need to get the Piper Cub. I mean, why have they not got the Piper Cub at V4 yet?
I don't know. I think they prioritize their warbirds.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll come.
Yeah.
Thanks for the photo, Eric. I'll have a look at that in a minute. All in all, really nice scenery. I mean, if this looks a bit glitchy on the graphics, but can't have everything. Why am I still getting water on the windscreen when I've turned off all of the... Yeah, really nice, beautiful, beautiful islands off there in the distance. Definitely worth visiting again. I'm glad I got this scenery. So yeah, just a casual stream this evening, guys. Nothing major. It's kind of midweek, and VATSIM, to be fair, hasn't still updated its audio codec. I'm not really intensely amused with VATSIM at the moment. I'm kind of waiting for it to update its audio codec as soon as possible at this point, because it was back in September that they said it was a matter of weeks back in September, and but then I suppose we shouldn't really be surprised at this, because it is VATSIM after all. It takes years for things to happen, but you know, they say they're close, so I would rather give them the benefit of the doubt on that. Okay, that island off in the distance ahead of us, that's that island that I said we were going to go to, but decided not to, so that's for another day. Okay, let's go to the approach, autopilot off, fuel selector on the desired tank. Yeah, oh my goodness, I forgot about that, lol.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm getting a little bit of a pull to the right now. Lol. Mixture is rich, fuel levels check, yep. Altimeter is set. Cow flaps closed, actually. And then gear, etc., etc. Yeah, it kind of does remind me. I have Flight Tampa St. Martin as well. I should do some flying there.
KLM.
Yeah, I know. It's nice.
That's the only long haul I've done from Amsterdam to St. Martin.
Ah. That Russian guy basically told you to crash, lol. Oh, well, he's Russian. I don't listen to Russians. Particularly when they speak in their language and I can't understand them, so. Nothing against them, of course, but, you know, if you speak in your language and I can't read it, then I'm not going to understand what you're saying. Okay, gear down. I'm going to put flaps 20. And I'm going to taxi, landing lights on, flaps going to 20. Let's just do some trimming. So thank you very much, guys, for chilling on the live stream this evening. It's been a really nice flight. Really enjoyed it. Beautiful new scenery, beautiful aircraft. So feel free to hit the subscribe button if you have not already, or the notification. Actually,
500.
shh, the notification button is actually probably a better one to hit, because whenever I go start a live stream in the future or release a video, you might want to see that. And if you're interested in helping support the channel, feel free to just drop me a little donation for the new graphics card upgrade that I'm saving up for, with a super chat, or if you're on Twitch using PayPal or something like that. So, but no need to do that if you don't want to. It's fine. Oh, a little bit fast here, actually, folks. That was not bad. It could have been worse. And I'm holding center line, so that must count for something, mustn't it, Eric? Oop, 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 oop. Just make sure you continue holding center line, you idiot. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too good, actually, no. Oh. That's better. Okay, just lean for ground operations, flaps up. And because I'm such a small aircraft, I can pretty much just turn around here. Like so. I'm fogging up. My windows are fogging up. Well, I suppose it is so warm.
Here, maybe open the little side window.
Yeah. That's done it. That's done the trick. I think my... cabin ventilation. Cow flaps. Well, it's unfogged now anyway, so. Okay, let's turn the strobe off. And the landing light can go off. We'll keep the taxis on. That's a nice, look at that. That's a nice little airfield. And I think it's just probably a little glitch, but we're getting the rain on the windshield effect still, despite the fact that I turned the rain off. It's probably just a disconnect between, a bit of a disconnect between the turning off Project Fly. Ah. Oh, this is a cool little taxiway. Check this out. It's like a little road.
Yeah.
Oh. I really do need to, and I like the little fire engine under the little canopy there. I really do need to come back here in a float plane. I'm gonna have to do the beaver, definitely beaver, for the next stream in this scenery. Okay, let's just stop next to these people here. They look like they're expecting us. What are you looking at? Okay, park brake on. Okay, shutdown, brakes set, electrical and radios off. So let's put the avionics off. Radios are off. Nav beacon off. That is off. Throttle close, mixture off. So wait until the props stop turning. And then ignition off. Batteries off. Control wheel lock. I think it's like... There you go. Like so. Park brake released. Well, I'm going to set that wheel. And wheel chocks install. Right, okay. Well, if we just jump out and we go pause track IR. Let's pop our people out here. Oh my goodness, look at that fuel discrepancy. My bad. Empty plane. There we go. And then pitot cover, tie downs, and wheel chocks. There we go, folks, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much. That was very enjoyable. Let's just go to static camera. What is she doing? Is she moonwalking? Why? She's trying to run away from. Oh wow, women do that. It's okay. I'm used to it. Oh look,
scared of your landing.
Yeah, that's probably it. Got a nice little pier here. Oh, nice little grove of trees with a ooh hello, with a statue of a lady. Yeah, so thank you very much, guys. It's been a fun little cool stream in some really beautiful scenery. But I think that's going to be it from me. So for those of you who have stayed on the stream, thank you very much, and I will see you hopefully this weekend. I'm going to be doing another stream, so tune in for that. So thank you very much, and thank you for joining me, Vince.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Okay.